Hello, I'm Jack.
And I'm Mel, and this is the fifth stage of our Costa Rica trip.
Yep, fifth.
So we went from the national park down the coast to the Esquinas Rainforest.
Yes, but before we got there, very excitingly, choo-choo trains. We love choo-choo trains.
Yeah, we stopped to look at these amazing balls.
Round stone balls.
Yes, that nobody really knows where they came
The
from.
indigenous people kind of produced them, and that was kind of that was interesting. And then
the trains, though, were used for transporting the bananas up and down towards Panama.
And then the bananas had given way to these large African palm reserves, and so for huge distances on the road, we just went past palm trees.
Yeah, rows and rows and
so
rows and rows.
It's a bit of a monoculture and not great to see, really. So a little bit worrying there. But then we got to our eco lodge, and it was fantastic, wasn't it?
It was a really interesting story as well. It had been set up by an Austrian man who'd also raised a huge amount of money back in Austria in order to protect the rainforest. And what they're trying to do over a period of time is they've got these national parks.
Lots of them.
Trying to extend the rainforest so that they can create a linked corridor across from the Pacific coast to the Caribbean in order that wildlife can move freely as it would have done in the past.
And what was great is
uninterrupted by us.
Rainforests for Austria or something like that. They had thousands of Austrian school kids saving up for the rainforest. So it's well done, Austria, I'd like to say. We liked the lodge because it had a garden, had the same sorts of plants as the jungle, but the plants were kind of isolated. And
we were completely immersed in it. And I remember saying to Gerhard, "My gosh, it's so loud." Yeah. And he said, if you were here in the dry season, you wouldn't be able to hear me speak.
Yeah.
It's really loud.
So we saw this, I don't know what, this basilisk or something like that as well.
Bearded basilisk, I think.
Yes, this birdie we're going to see a little bit kind of later on, but some flowers. And what did you think of where we were staying, Mel?
It was beautiful where we stayed, absolutely beautiful. And at night, torrential downpours. It was like, being under a big leaf. Yeah. That's all I can explain it, really.
Talking about torrential downpours, we got there and it was nice and sunny and dry. We had one of Gerhardt's walks in the garden in the afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely tipped it down.
Absolutely.
As you'd expect in a tropical rainforest.
And it seems it... It's pouring, the old man is snoring. Field fleur. And it seems it does that most afternoons, in fact.
Yeah.
So the rain came down, didn't it?
Yeah.
But it didn't stop us. And what did we see? Well, we saw more flowers. But the next morning, what time were we up in the morning? So we were up at about 6:30, which is just about the regular time for us. We'd had a really nice sit-down meal in the evening, and we were looking forward to our breakfast. And it wasn't raining, which I think always counts as a bonus. So here we all were up and out.
I actually don't remember. It was probably 6-something as usual.
He loves to see
we left early, had a breakfast, and then went off on a hike around through the area, which I think we started actually at the caiman. There was a pool where there were lots of caimans.
Yes.
Well, we saw one in particular. I think there's probably more than one in there. But we all gawped at that for quite a long time.
And the plants, but you also just get the trees and the mist, which I think is a kind of a fantastic look, and it's all kind of dripping wet. We did see some plants and animals and things, but it was mainly the fauna and flora in the.
It definitely was, and also about how the day changed. You woke up in the morning, misty, moisty, loud, and then the heat just built up. So we came back in time to have lunch by lunchtime.
And to see the caimans.
I think I had 3 showers a day there, actually, because it was really humid.
The caimans were out and sunbathing about it. So the weather changes just kind of all the time. Here we are going through the jungle. And what's this chap here that makes a lot of noise?
Cicada, that one had lost a wing, which is why it's sitting quite happily on Gerhardt's. But I remember him saying at the previous one of the previous stops that they live about 18 years.
Yes.
Amazing.
So here I am with Ray, and here Selwyn is with
Janice. So we didn't see there are no mammals there really, just birds, and we didn't see an awful lot, so I decided to take pictures of people.
Yes.
That day.
Well, here's another one for you.
That's Jane and Juliet.
Yes, and
Paul and Jenny.
Now, Paul's a true romantic. He loves Jenny nearly as much as Stokes Sissy.
Yes, nearly as much.
Nearly as much. So
yes. There you are, popping out from behind a tree.
And the bats popping out
They were in the bar.
Yes, and I think
in the hotel.
And I came across this fellow. I think it's a large turkey, but I'm not very sure. I'm not very sure.
And there's a toucan hiding in the tree.
Yes, I saw it. So the first is my toucan photograph, and the second is Bian's, I think.
Bian of the big lens.
And I don't know what this mousy-like thing is called.
It's Naguti, I think.
It was quite interesting in the afternoon because we arranged a trip down to the coast, and I love going down to the coast. Look at this! Look at it! Just absolutely fantastic. We come into town and it's beautiful, beautiful. But for a lot of our party, I think they thought it's a nasty commercial venture. It could be anywhere. And we had a nice green.
There's some truth in that.
There is some truth in that.
Yeah.
It could have been Swansea Marina.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that, but it wasn't typical of the area. But we'd gone through the old town on the way there, hadn't we?
Yes, essentially the town is what's providing the workers who are now supporting the rainforest.
So we've got the workers' cottages. Yeah. And we've got the American buildings. Who were the Americans?
And the English. There was the English colonial.
English colonial is one style. Then the Americans is where the managers from the large banana companies were.
Yeah.
And then the more typical houses for
yeah, we're talking about Chiquita.
And
Del Monte, the big fruit companies that were prevalent.
Yes. And so that's probably my favourite hotel, a lodge or whatever.
Yeah, and we had really interesting meals. So we had a 3-course meal every evening, and it was usually started with a cold soup. Then we had a main course. Paul got to choose his beans with everything because he was vegetarian. And then interesting desserts, usually like melon ice cream or a coconut something. It was quite unusual, and a lot of it came from the gardens there. It was a beautiful place run by a very small team of people, very dedicated to the ecotourism, which Costa Rica is so well known for.
Absolutely. And we had a bonus on the last morning because Henry spotted this here, anteater, going along. So everybody
we all piled out for breakfast to go and have a
photographs. So yes.
It was a lovely, peaceful place. I think if you wanted to retreat away from life for a week, you couldn't pick a better place.
Very good. Okay, Mel, that was great. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Right, better go see Flash now, Mel.